There's hardly any water coming out of there. And it's bubbling in the back. What the heck is going on? Yep, see, this little orange piece in there is busted. That is enough to make it not work properly. Hello coffee friends, I am Tom from Tom's Coffee Corner. And today we're going to take a look at what to do when your machine loses pressure and you can't make an espresso anymore. It's usually one of two things. It's either the pump itself or it could also be the overpressure valve. This is what it looks like in the DeLonghi. I ordered this up from Amazon and I will include a link to it down in the description box below. Due to some internet research, it turns out that this is the part that fails the most often, so that's why this is what I'm going to try first. In addition, inside the overpressure valve is a spring, and the spring is what adjusts the pressure of your espresso. So once I get used to replacing this, then I want to experiment in the future to see if we can get something closer to 9 bars. Alright guys, so just a short word on how this overpressure valve works. DeLonghi also calls it the anti-drip valve. The water comes up from the bottom and part of it goes to the brew group and the other part of it goes back into the water tank. And the spring in here is what determines what goes back into the water tank and what goes to the brew group. So anything 15 bars and below goes to the brew group. Anything above that has to go back into the water tank. And that's why when this fails, you're going to see some bubbles rising up in that water tank. Welcome to my man cave. Let's get started. Alright, first thing is first, a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and if you do this yourself, make sure to do so with caution. I am not responsible for your own safety or for the functioning of your machine. Alright, so let's go. Let's remove the water tank. First things first, we have to remove these 2 screws right here. Now I would suggest that, like with any other do-it-yourself projects or anything that you're fixing, that you take a picture first with your cell phone. Always a good idea. Now that we've got those 2 screws out, we can push this away from the front. So this is on 2 clips in there, and you have to push kind of hard to lift up and kind of push at the same time. You could hear a pop off of there. Alright, this is what the inside looks like here. Let's go ahead and remove this ground wire. But before I do anything else, I'm going to take a picture. Now we can get started. Remove this ground wire from the top. Next thing, I will just remove these 2 screws here to remove the control panel. That's right. Good to go. This dial can just be pulled right off, like that. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 screws here are on the brew group that need to be removed. Also, 1 right here. Oh, that's better. 1 right here as well. You'll see I put them down here in the pattern in which I removed them so that I can put them back in the right spot later. We're also going to have to remove this clamp here. There we go. And we've got back here 1 more ground. These screws here, you've got 2 Phillips screws in the front. And these other screws are like hexagon with some kind of bead in the middle. So these ones will have to be removed with a slotted screwdriver. That does work. Alright, now the bottom rudder can be removed. It's a little crusty. Voila, that's the bottom. So to remove the cartridge, there is a ground wire in there that we'll just have to remove. There we go. And finally, we have to remove the water that goes to the pump and the water that comes back as the return. So there's 3 more screws there. There it is. Now there is one more thing to be careful of here, and that's this on-off button here. Here on the side. We have to make sure to get past that gently, otherwise the cartridge is hard to get out. Alright, here you can see me sneaking it right past that on and off button. And this part is just a little bit difficult, trying to get the cartridge pushed up through the housing of the machine. Just with a little bit of jiggling and working it down, you will be able to get it. Just be patient in doing so. And one other point to keep in mind is where the steam wand hose attaches there, where that silver clip still is. That also causes some issues. You might have to move that around a little bit. We got her. This right here is what the inside of your Dedica looks like. This is the pump. This is an Ulca EP5. And attached to that pump is this guy. Let's go ahead and replace this one and see how it works. So this here is the line that goes back into the water tank. That must be for the overpressure. Not to be such a rascal. Oh, got her. And now there's a little clip here. This little clip needs to be removed. That's what the little clip looks like. So we should be able to remove this here. Pretty nice. And that just screws right off there. That wasn't too bad. That's the old one. This is the new one. Let's put it in. No matter what you're replacing plumbing wise, you have to make sure that the gaskets are in there. But the gasket is missing on the replacement, so you have to take the gasket from the original one and slide it into the new one. And again, this part that I got from Amazon was not expensive. Now the whole thing turns, okay. And this has to go towards the back. Put this guy back in there. Put the clip back in. Alright, perfect. It's not going anywhere. We will put that overpressure back on. Voila. Now I have seen some people open these on the internet, and there's usually like a little plastic part in here that busted. Let's see if that's the case or not. It's always good to put protective gloves on. There we go. That's the cap right there. And this right here is the spring. And this is really an essential part in the espresso machine, because this spring is what determines how high the pressure is inside the extraction. So this one was designed to run at 15 bars. What this does is this spring will shunt off anything more than 15 bars, as you saw back here, into the tank. So that's the spring. See? It's like we're doing surgery here. Espresso machine surgery. This little orange piece in there is busted. Not completely busted, but you can see it's supposed to look like a mushroom, and it is partially broken. Just that really little break, that is enough to make it not work properly. It's a little orange rubber piece, and I guess that over time that rubber must eventually get abraded, and once it's abraded enough, then it does not hold the pressure anymore, and in that case it shunts too much of it back into the water tank. So we can put this back together and then it should work properly. For a future video, I would like to find a spring like this that has less power. This is pretty powerful. I have to use a good amount of force to get it together. Let's get this put back together. And here again, this is where you gotta be careful to slide the cartridge past this on and off. This on and off here. See that nose sticks out there. You gotta get past that gently in order to get it to slide all the way into place. And a good way to test to see if you're all the way in is if this dial here lines up with this on the outside, which it does not yet. We need to slide down probably another centimeter. So somewhere it's a little stuck. See, it's stuck here a little bit. There we go. Nice. You have to take special care here because this decoration here sometimes slips out of place, so you got to push that back in. Okay, that's good to go. And now I would say let's start the reverse process. You can see it, the ground wire gets stuck right down there. I'll try to point to it. Right there on the chassis. Okay, we got her. It's important to check the on-off button. Make sure that that works properly. And now for the test. Way more water. And no more bubbles. Or many fewer bubbles anyway. Alright guys, well I hope that this video helped. If so, give me a like and check out my other videos. If you see what you like, then subscribe to the channel down below. It's totally free. And until next time, I say happy coffee drinking and happy espresso drinking. Bye now.